Okay, this video is going to be over everything that we have learned this past week for Pythagorean theorem. Pythagorean theorem says that when you square two sides, the two sides that are adjacent to the right angle, they will equal the hypotenuse squared. The hypotenuse is the line that is across from the right angle, and it's always your longest side. So to solve Pythagorean theorem, just take your whatever is given to you, your legs, plug them in for A and B, and solve for C. After these two problems, I'll show you how to do it if you're given a hypotenuse but you're trying to find a leg. So we're going to plug in. It doesn't matter which one you choose for A and which one you choose for B. 8 squared plus 6 squared equals C squared. And then I use the order of operations to solve. 8 squared is 64. And 6 squared is 36. We add these together and get 64 plus 36 is 100. Take the square root on both sides so that I can get C by itself. And the square root of 100 is 10. So my hypotenuse is 10. We did the same thing for the second one. I plug in my legs 5 and 2 for A and B. It doesn't matter which one. 5 squared plus 2 squared equals C squared. 5 squared is 25 and 2 squared is 4. Add them together and remember to take the square root at the end, and the square root of 29 is 5.4. So just plug in your legs, square them, add them together, take the square root, and then that gives you your hypotenuse. When you're given the hypotenuse, plug in your leg for A or B, it doesn't matter which one. But now we have to plug the hypotenuse in for C. We still square it the same way. 10 squared is 100, bring everything else down. 12 squared is 144. But now you have to get this leg to the other side by subtracting. 144 minus 100 is 44. And then of course you have to take the square root. And the leg is 6 6/10. So we plug in our leg and we're solving for the other leg. Again, it doesn't matter which one you plug in for A or B, as long as your hypotenuse is the one that you have for C. 10 squared is 100 and 15 squared is 225. Subtract 100 from both sides and that gives you 125, and the square root of 125 is 11.2. Alright, how do we prove if 3 sides make up a right triangle? You plug your legs in for A and B and your hypotenuse in for C. Which one is your hypotenuse? That is always going to be your biggest number. So 3 squared plus 5 squared equals 6 squared. Square all of your numbers. 3 squared is 9, 5 squared is 25, 6 squared is 36. Add your legs. 9 plus 25 is 34. And see if it equals your hypotenuse. If it does not equal, it is not a right triangle. Make sure you pause the video and try these for yourself. 13 is my biggest number, so that's going to be plugged in for my hypotenuse. 7 squared is 49. 11 squared is 121. And 13 squared is 169. Add your legs together. 49 plus 121 is 170. That does not equal 169. So this is not a right triangle. And for the last one, My biggest length is 15, so that's my hypotenuse. 12 squared is 144. 13 squared is 169. And 15 squared is 225. Add side A and B. 144 plus 169 is 313, which does not equal 225. So it is not a right triangle. If you solve these and you get that the side lengths do equal, then it will be a right triangle. Alright, word problems. The key to word problems is to draw a picture of what the word problem is explaining. Mr. Potato bought a big screen TV. The screen is 52 inches wide and 29 inches high. So here's our TV. We want to find the length of its diagonal. That's from the bottom corner to the top corner. So we're solving for the hypotenuse. 52 squared plus 29 squared equals the diagonal squared. 52 squared is 2,704. 29 squared is 841. Add those together and you get 3,545. To find the diagonal of the TV, you need to take the square root, and that is 59.5 inches. A 16-foot ladder is leaned against a wall. So this is a 16-foot ladder. It is 5 feet from the wall. Here's our wall. How high up on the wall does the ladder reach? So our ladder that's leaning is 16 feet, propped up against a wall. The ladder rests 5 feet from the base of the wall. So we're looking for how high the wall is. That means we are solving for a leg. A squared plus 5 squared equals 16 squared. 5 squared is 25. 16 squared is 256. Subtract 25 and take the square root. And the wall is approximately 15.2 feet. Is about how high up the ladder is. So for word problems, just make sure you draw your pictures. Alright, to find distance between 2 points on a graph, you graph your 2 points. I'm at -2, 4, and 3, 5. Go to the right, 3, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want to know how far away these points are. So I need to create a right triangle. I went up 1, to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And to find the distance between the 2 points, I'm solving for the hypotenuse. So plug in A and B. 1 squared is 1. 5 squared is 25. When you add them together, you get 26. And the square root of 26 is 5.1. To solve the distance between 2 points without a graph, remember the girl that we drew? We have her ponytail, her eyes, her pupils, her eyelashes, her nose, and x comes before y. This is the distance formula. Plug in your x and your y for x and y in the equation. So I have the square root of x minus x. This is 1 minus -3. That's my x's. Plus 3 minus 4. Bring down the rest of the formula. Solve inside the parentheses first. 1 minus -3. When you're subtracting, add the opposite. You change subtraction to addition. Take the opposite of your second number. 1 plus 3 is 4. 3 minus 4, change subtraction to addition. Take the opposite of the second number. I have different signs, so I subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1. Take the sign of the bigger number. That gives me negative 1. Now I square my numbers. 4 squared is 16. Negative 1 squared, which is negative 1 times negative 1. Make sure if you have to plug anything in here into the calculator that you use parentheses, otherwise it will change your answer. That is 1. 16 plus 1 is 17, and the square root of 17 is 4.1. So the distance between those two ordered pairs is 4.1. We do the same thing for the next one. Plug in x minus x, negative 4 minus negative 5 squared, plus negative 2 minus negative 3 squared. Solve parentheses first. Negative 4 minus negative 5. Change subtraction to addition. Take the opposite of the second number. I have different signs, so I subtract. And keep the sign with the bigger number. 5 minus 4 is 1. Negative 2 minus negative 3. Add the opposite, and that becomes 1. 1 squared is 1. 1 squared is 1. When I add those together, I get 2. And the square root of 2 is 1.4. So plug those numbers into the distance formula and solve for the distance between the two ordered pairs. And that covers everything that we have learned so far this unit. We still have volume left to cover, and then we will be ready to take our unit test. If you have any questions, please see me after class.